by Studio Wendy at Scrapbook Graphics.
Today we're looking at Kit Stacker. It's a set of actions and scripts that work together to load all of your elements and papers into one layered file in Photoshop and Photoshop Elements. Let's take a look here at your download. You'll see here that you have a folder of actions and a folder of scripts. In the scripts folder, you'll see a Wendyzine Scraps folder, and then in that is a Kit Stacker Scripts folder. You want to copy the entire Kit Stacker Scripts folder into your Wendyzine Scraps folder on your hard drive. If you have installed any type of script from me before now, you will already have a Wendyzine Scraps folder on your hard drive in the correct location as laid out in the PDF tutorial that's included here. If you've never installed any scripts from me before, then just copy the entire Wendyzine Scraps folder with what's inside it to the special location. And that location is just a little bit different depending on your operating system, if you have Windows or Mac. And so take a look at that very carefully and make sure you get that put in the right spot. Once you have installed a script, you'll already have the Wendyzine Scraps folder in the right place, and then you just copy the new set of scripts into that folder. And it's very important that you don't change the name of any of these items or remove any of them from the folders that they're in. For example, there's some things in here. Don't take them out of this folder. Just copy the entire folder right like it is into that location. So that's the scripts. Then you have the actions, and if you open up the actions folder here, you'll see we have two different sets. We have a 12 by 12 version, and that's for anybody who scraps 12 by 12, and then we have a custom version, and really the only difference between the two is in the initial startup action. In the 12 by 12, you're automatically given a 12 by 12 canvas. In the custom version, you are asked to pick you are asked to enter the size of your canvas. So let's pop over to Photoshop CS5 and we're going to take a look at how these actions work. Now I've already loaded my actions into Photoshop, and you'll see here I've loaded both the custom and the 12 by 12 action sets. And you'll see here that I'm working on my Mac, so these are the Mac versions. I'm going to go ahead and show you the custom starter first. The first step in either set of actions is to run the starter action. So I'm going to select that one and press play. When we get this message, we can just click continue. And the first thing we're prompted to do in the custom action is to set our canvas size. And so its default here is 8 by 8, but you could certainly make it any size you want. I'm going to make it 6 by 4 and press OK. The next step is to enter our metadata. The metadata is simply comments that come along with the file that are stored permanently here in our TIFF file. Let me move this over. We can enter any tags we want here that are relevant to the kit. So in this case, this is a storytelling, scrapbooking, digi-scrap, photography, any other words that I want to be able to search on to pull up this kit, I can enter right here. And then when I do my searches to look for this kit, I can search on any of these keywords. And then down below is where you can enter your kit name and your designer name. So this is storytelling. This is Studio Mix Storytelling by Scrapbook Graphics collab. So I enter in the kit name right there and press OK. Then I'm prompted to save the file, and I'm going to call this SBG Studio Mix 32 Storytelling .tiff. And you'll see here that the layers button is checked, and we want to go ahead and make sure that is checked so that our file is saved in layers. And then under image compression, it's automatically set to LZW and zip, and that's going to give us our smaller file size. So just press OK, and Photoshop is going to save that file. So now we have here our 4 by 6 canvas that we've used for our custom size here, and we want to go ahead and start loading in our papers. So we have a few options here for loading in our papers and our elements. We have a no shadow option if you prefer to do all your own shadowing, or you can pull your items in with some drop shadows already applied. The paper shadows are set to be less heavy than the element shadows, and you can choose from top or bottom. In elements, usually it doesn't make a difference. You're just going to get your default angle. So choose one of those. And this final action is embellishments only. And this is for not pulling in any papers. If you only want to pull in your elements, at the end of the action, it will end up trimming off the extra canvas to save you a little bit of space on your file size. So with the bottom shadow option selected, I'm going to press play. We get a message here, just press continue. Then we're prompted to select a folder. So just click next to the load images. I'm going to go into my folder, into my papers folder, and click open. And now I'm going to press OK. And I'm going to watch as Photoshop opens and places each one of my papers onto the canvas that I started here. All of the papers and elements will be placed as smart objects, meaning even if I enlarge or reduce them, the quality of the original image is already embedded into the file. You'll notice too, as this runs, that each of the papers and elements is being added to the file with the layer name as the file name. So if you take the time to rename your files to begin with, or if the designer provides files that already have descriptive information in the file names, then that information will be right here in your kit stack. Now, when the action's done, in this particular case, we will be prompted to resize our papers to fit the page. You'll see here that because it's a 4x6 screen, my papers are actually falling off of the canvas here. So I'm going to press Command Shift or Control Alt minus to zoom out until I can see these control handles. And then I can simply click, hold in my Shift key in Photoshop CS, and resize them to fit. And in this case, I want to fit the width of the page. There we go. And press Enter to apply it. There we go. Now all of our papers have been loaded in here. And you can see we can scroll through and play with the various pieces of the kit here. The next thing I want to do is add the elements, and so I'm going to go through the same process. Select the action, press play, continue, and this time when the next message comes up, I'm going to select the elements folder. Here it is, and press open, and press OK. And we're going to watch the action do the same exact thing. It's going to take a little while. It's going to go through, open each of the files that was included in this kit, and it's going to load them into a stack right here in Photoshop. Now that the action is done placing everything and applying the drop shadows, again, we are prompted to resize our elements to fit on the canvas here. Now that we have all of our elements and papers placed onto the canvas here, we can go ahead and save the file again. I'm pressing Command S to do that, and it's just going to save right over the initial starter file that we created. And now this kit is ready for us to store away or use to scrap a layout with. And you have all your pieces already in here, already named, and your metadata already started. And so that is how that works. Really handy way to get everything into one file. So I hope this tutorial has been helpful in showing you how to use the kit stacker actions and scripts together. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thanks for watching this episode of Learn It.